Viewers, this is Major General Neelendra Kumar for the playlist in Similia in conversation with Senior Advocate V Sudhesh Pai. Now about the great characters included in your book Legends and Law. The next one we move to is Sir Bhashyam Ayyangar. Now he was said to be an unquestioned leader of the Madras bar, and it is also said that he was quite orthodox in his belief, and he did not eat anything outside his house. Now also it is said that once he made a very hilarious remark that talking about the proverb that barking dogs seldom bite, he remarked that the dog may not be in knowledge of this or may proverb. Not be aware of this proverb. Can you recount that incident, please?
Bhashyam Ayyangar, along with Muthuswami Iyer and Subramania Iyer, are considered the triumvirate of the Madras bar in its early years. All three of them were extraordinarily great, and in fact Bhashyam Ayyangar was supposed to be a natural choice to succeed Muthuswami Iyer, but he didn't evince any interest in judgeship at that time. But later, after Subramania Iyer died, or rather Subramania Iyer did not die in office, Subramania Iyer resigned because he thought his health was not good enough to discharge the functions of a judge. So after Subramania Iyer resigned in 1907, Bhashyam Ayyangar was appointed a judge. He was an extraordinary scholar. He was responsible for drafting the civil procedure code of those times, and he would always though he was thorough, he was one of those who read the provisions before he went to court, to be sure, though he knew it, to be sure of what is it. And he was extraordinarily respected. While all these were great, Bhashyam Ayyangar enjoyed a unique respect. It seems even Subramania Iyer, they were having a little easy-going flippant talk in the Bar Association room when Bhashyam Ayyangar's clerk entered, which was an indication that the master would be following. And even Subramania Iyer said, please get serious. We must stop this. I mean, that is the kind of esteem that Bhashyam Ayyangar enjoyed. As you said, he was very orthodox. He did not eat anywhere outside. He made one exception to go to the house of an Englishman, where he carried his own silver vessels, cup and all that for his coffee. And of course, the Englishman's dog was there, and Bhashyam Ayyangar felt very uneasy. Englishman was a member of the Legislative Council, I think, some Murray Smith. And he said, oh, barking dogs seldom bite, don't bother. He said, that's all right, you know and I know the English proverb, but the dog may not know.
That was very well put in, very well put in. And with that we move to the Calcutta High Court. Sir Gooroodas Banerjee. Now he is known to be a very distinguished judge of the Calcutta High Court, and what is remarkable is that he had been a lecturer of law and also of mathematics, which is entirely something, a divergent discipline. But would you like to indicate why did he, why was or how did he come to be respected so much? Sir Gooroodas.
Just one word. The two disciplines are not so much dissociated. I myself a master's in mathematics before coming to law. So is Lord Denning.
And I think Sir Ashutosh
Sir Ashutosh is a doctorate in mathematics, a doctorate in physics, a doctorate in law.
But it is still uncommon. It is still.
So was Chief Justice Bhagwati. Is a master's in mathematics before coming to law.
Bhagwati.
No, this Chief Justice son Bhagwati. I mean, now of course, P.N. Praful Bhagwati. See, the common thing they say is, sorry, this is apart from Gooroodas Banerjee. Both mathematics and law require precision. You don't apply mathematical theorems in law or legal practice, but mathematical thinking, approach. I think that does help. Gooroodas Banerjee again came from not very rich beginnings,
Background, yes.
background. He was a great scholar. He was first and foremost a mathematician, like his prodigy Ashutosh. In fact, Gooroodas is considered Ashutosh's mentor in a way.
Okay.
And they were 20 years apart, 1844, 1864. Gooroodas was a great mathematician.
Yes.
And of course, a great lawyer. So that's how he began, both as a teacher in law and as a teacher in mathematics. He was the first Indian Vice Chancellor of the Calcutta University,
Okay.
Gooroodas Banerjee. He was also an authority on Hindu law. His Tagore law lectures is the law of Stridhan.
Yes.
And he was an absolutely simple and modest person.
By nature.
Yes, by nature. It is said that very orthodox, he would go to the Ganga, the Hooghly, for a bath every day. And on one of those days when he was returning, a lady thought he was a Brahmin Pujari. Of course he was a Brahmin, but not a Pujari by profession. He was a judge at that time. So she called him, said, "My Purohit has not come, please come and perform the puja for my home
did
duty."
he agree?
He did.
Okay.
He said, yes.
He did.
Yeah.
Okay.
He went inside, performed the puja and quietly left. She didn't know, perhaps till she died, that it was a High
Yes.
Court judge who had performed the puja.
Puja. That is
So
their
this was
simplicity.
the simplicity of the
and,
man.
yes.
And it is also said, this I've heard from, it's not there in this book, but I think I've written it in the next edition. I heard this from just Sudhesh Mukherjee. When he died virtually facing the Ganga, reciting the Gita.
Look at this.
He told his sons, it's time for departure, you take me, something like that. But he could see the Ganga from where he was lying in the last days.
Yes.
Yeah. And they were reciting the Gita. I think I have mentioned that in the later edition, because there's a piece of information I got later. But Gooroodas Banerjee was something, in a class by himself. Yes.
The next person that I would like to touch upon is Mr. Rashbehari Ghose. Now, he was born in 1845, and I found that it was mentioned that he was awarded a degree of Doctor of Laws in 1884, and some years later, a couple of decades later, came to be knighted in 1915. Would you like to tell our viewers something about Rashbehari Ghose?
So Rashbehari Ghose is again a very renowned name. He was not only a great, of course he was a great practitioner, a very consummate advocate, but equally a erudite scholar in law. And he has the distinction of being Sir Ashutosh Mukherjee's senior.
Okay.
Yeah, Ashutosh began
from one grade to another.
Yes. Began his career joining the chambers of Sir Rashbehari Ghose. Yes. Gooroodas was a mentor in another way.
Yes.
And Rashbehari Ghose has very wide practice. He delivered the Tagore law lectures on the law of mortgage, which is even today the recognized text on the subject. Yes. He could be very caustic. He could pull up judges. In fact, once he came to the court with a pile of books, and the judge asked him, "What is this?" "Yeah, to teach you all the law that you do not know."
Look at, he told judges.
He told the judge. Yes. There was another incident where he was held up in one court. His junior asked in the other court for a Passover saying, the judge said, no, anyone is good enough, one is as good as the other, you can do it. So,
take it on.
Yeah, so when this was reported, Rashbehari said, okay, it's a lunch break. He met the Chief Justice. It was Chief Justice Lawrence Jenkins, considered one of the greatest Chief Justices who ever sat in India. He was before Lawrence Jenkins, so during the lunch break he went and told him, this is a problem in the other court, I'll go there for 5 minutes and come back. So he came to the other judge and said, my lord, your lordship was not granting a Passover. I was on my legs before the Chief Justice. I did meet him in chamber and mention to him that I will be in your court and come back, and he did permit me. So now how do you say one is as good as the other?
Look at this. This was quite.
So the judge had no other way.
Yes.
But and even more humorous is the thing that English district judge was smoking in court.
While on
In
the
court,
bench.
yeah,
Okay.
on the bench during court proceedings. And of course, he was politely told that it's not done, but somehow he didn't bother about it. So the next hearing, Rashbehari went with liquor.
Okay.
He had a beaker and poured some liquor, and when the judge puffed off his cigarette, Rashbehari poured his liquor and had it in
Okay.
court. What are you doing, Sir Rashbehari? What is your honor doing? Off it goes. He threw out the cigarette. He said, in it goes. And
He took it up.
so this was,
Wonderful.
Rashbehari, and
Yes.
he was a bachelor. I'm sorry, I think he had no children in any case, so all his earnings were given munificently, crores of rupees or lakhs of rupees those days. And the Jadavpur University in Calcutta is virtually
Yes.
a result of Sir Rashbehari's bequest. And as Ashutosh's senior, he also gave munificent donations to the Calcutta University.
Thank you very much. This conversation will continue. Be with us. Thanks.